This PODCLIP is brought to you by Paradigm Human Performance.
You said something there which is interesting about the youth side of it, and which I think is fascinating. You mentioned the youth, your hair, and your boots, so that's interesting, and I think it's interesting for me because I was started in safety with no university, no nothing, just literally fell into it like most people do, but at quite a young age. So I was 20. Yeah. Was I 20? I was at 20, 21-ish. And I actually found the biggest challenge for me was just the assumption that I don't know what I'm talking about because of the youth. There's an assumption that young people are stupid and they don't really know, they need to get some years on them and stuff like that. Or as well as just talking to a person before you came on, about if you're maybe trying to, especially now, as some of the new view stuff might be seen as a bit progressive, if you're young and trying to push this more progressive, I say in quotations, view of safety, they just kind of maybe make an assumption that you're just young, far left and woke, and that's it. Do you know what I mean? And I felt, maybe that's what you're saying, maybe it wasn't, but I could definitely relate to that one liner you said there about maybe the youth side of it. I felt that for sure. I think that's something that we maybe still struggle with as well. I think Louise said the same.
Yeah, and I think it's possibly the job that you go into, as your first health and safety role that potentially defines whether you're too young for it or not. So for Louise and I, going into an environmental health role where you're expected to, you basically stand up in front of a magistrate or a judge and be an expert witness.
Wow.
At the age of 22.
Jeez, yeah, that's massive.
Yeah, and I'd just done 4 years of university. Quite frankly, I knew jack shit. But within my first week, it could have been me stood up, giving evidence against somebody. And so I think, in that role, seasoned business owners probably had the right to look at me and think, what the hell do you know? Wet behind the ears, stupid boots. And I said to my niece, who's only a little bit younger than me, has gone into the same career choice. And I said to her really early on that actually most jobs, especially when you're younger, is just an acting job. It's not an anything job, it's just an acting job. So you've got to be able to put on not necessarily a game face, but certainly your work face, and not let your true personality when you're very young come through. And I think, however non well, it's not PC, is it? But however much you'd like to think, well, people want to be authentic and they, want to bring their whole selves to work and all of that kind of thing. Well, actually, I think there are certain circumstances where you can't do that, and maybe you shouldn't do that. You should adopt the persona of the health and safety professional that you want to project.